Hello, can you hear me? So, yeah, the first Patreon live stream, and it's working. I can't believe it. Certain this was going to go wrong, so I suppose there's still time yet. Well, here we are, 8 o'clock. Time for the very first Patreon live stream. So I haven't organised anything. I don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm waiting for questions. Anyone wants to ask me anything to get the ball rolling, that'd be great. If not, this is going to be awkward. Is the planner behind you for your walks and videos? This is my Patreon planner behind me here. Down the other end of the kitchen, I don't know if you see it. Don't want to show you too much of the kitchen because I haven't done the washing up. My wife will go spare. She goes, what are you showing the kitchen for? You see that wall there? That's videos and stuff that I want, sort of to-do lists. So I do have some sort of organisation involved. Rory, what was your worst wild camp? I think the one I'd done at Christmas was pretty horrendous. I was a bit under the weather, I think, as well. And I just thought, why am I here? This is miserable. It's not very nice. I couldn't get comfortable all night. I didn't sleep very well. Made a good video, though. They always do. But I think when me and Nathan went out, and he's had horrendous wild camps, and we've been battered by the wind, I've actually quite enjoyed those. And the one where me and Tom on the side of a mountain, even though it was horrendous, and we had to pack up at like 5 a.m, it was an adventure. I didn't not enjoy it. So, yeah, that was, I think the Christmas one was the first time I really didn't enjoy it, and I sort of understood where Nath was coming from. I felt that I was obliged to get out and do that camp video. Yeah, I didn't really want to be there, I don't think. But there you go. That's what it is. Is what it is. Barry Pollard. Hi, Barry. The best and worst bit of kit you've actually bought? My worst bit of kit was these little crampon things that me and Nath bought when we was going to go and do Kader Idris in the middle of the winter. We had no idea really what we was doing, and I saw these things, and they was like rubber and chain, and you hooked them on the bottom of your foot, and they looked like there was absolute rubbish. And I remember posting up a photo of them on a Facebook group, and someone said, "What the hell are you wearing them things for?" Never used them. Also, these bungee straps that I bought, OEX bungee straps I bought last week, and I tried strapping my tent onto my 30-litre rucksack. This is the same night that my bottle of drink popped inside the bag, and I was strapping the tent up, and the heads just popped straight off. First time I'm out of the bag, I only just used them, so they were rubbish. My best thing I've ever bought. Oh, it's got to be tents. My tents. I love the Cloud Up 2. I still love that as my favourite tent out of everything I've got. And it's so nice, easy to put up, and it sort of holds really tight. Now that I've got that extra cord on the back of it, on the back window, it feels really sort of a rigid. Yeah, I like the tents, I think. Chicken of Evil. Ooh, hi, Trev. Lovely to see you. Do you ever consider, or would you consider, buying or reviewing ethically sourced green products? E.g., no single-use plastic ethical down clothes. Well, I wouldn't sort of like it if, I'd review anything, really. If people suggested to me. It's not something, I'm terrible, really. I don't go out looking for things like that. But yeah, I would. Maybe, send me some suggestions and I'll sort of look down that route and see what the advantages, obviously there are advantages, but what the, pros and cons are for that sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, I suppose mainly I buy things that are on a budget or that people recommend, and then you look and they've got good reviews and that. But yeah, saving the planet and that, it is fairly important. Andy, how easy is it to put the DD tarp tent together? Have you seen my videos? It probably, I think every time I've done it, I've forgotten again. It's so few and far between when I take it out that I actually forget how it goes together. So I've actually watched a couple of videos recently with different techniques, different ways to put the tarp together as well. Got these new methods with the DD tarp that I want to have a tinker with. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Chris Edwards, hey Trev, you've got so many windy wild camps. Any tips on getting any sleep through them? It just ruins me the next day. I know what you mean. Ruins me. The thing is, with me and Nath, when we go out on our camps, we usually just camp for the night and then get in the car and go straight home after the camp. I haven't really done sort of 2 or 3 days hiking and camping. And I'd imagine it would kill me as well, because I usually get home here and just stick a film on with the kids and doze on the sofa, sort of recovering from the night. Because, yeah, some nights, as you've seen in the videos, we do not sleep. We're it's 3 o'clock in the morning, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. We're constantly aware. People have said try earplugs. I've never tried any. I should get some, really. Have a go at them. But saying that, the last 2 or 3 times I've been out, I have slept like a log, so it's been good. Paul Maloney, are you planning to do some more Dartmoor Legends? Yeah, when I was going to do the Abbott's Way the other day, I had a couple of Dartmoor Legends lined up for that, but I didn't do the Abbott's Way walk in the end. It's having the legends for the area that I'm going to, and remembering to take the book, the little Dartmoor Legends book as well. But yeah, I hope to do more. And I was actually looking for another book, see if there's any more stories, or just make my own up, as I said earlier. Chicken of Evil, are you happy with the Patreon engagement so far? We think it's fab. You've got 32 supporters in such a short time. Is it a lot of extra work to do? It is fab. It's really, I couldn't believe how many of you sort of jumped at the chance to be patrons. So I'm enjoying it. It is a little bit extra work, but it's fine, I'm enjoying it. I just hope that you lot are enjoying it, really. That it's you guys that are, putting the money in. So I appreciate everything. So if you're all, enjoying yourselves, then I'm happy. If you feel you're getting enough from it, obviously I'd like it to be able to sort of organise like the top tier wild camp or a group hike at some point. But at the moment, I've got the charity walk I want to get done, and we're waiting to see what's happening with the COVID thing, really. At the moment, I'm just staying local and trying to limit the amount of people I see still. But yeah, as long as you look all happy, I am happy. I'm loving the Patreon. It's good doing the little videos from the trail, remembering to do them as well, because I forgot to do one on the Dartmoor wild camp we done. Barry's enjoying the content, fantastic. Chicken of Evil, A+++++ for Patreon so far. Great. I think your content is awesome. Thank you very much. And Andy, sensible approach there, Trev. I'm loving it on Patreon. Thank you. Creator, how do you and Nath know each other? We met about 20 years ago, 20 years ago. Just a friend of mine worked with Nath, and me and another friend had a flat, and we used to have parties. And my friend brought Nath to the party, and we just hit it off straight away. And he's just one of them chaps who doesn't matter how long it is between seeing each other, whenever we bump into each other. I think there was like a gap of 4 years where we hadn't seen each other, and then we bumped into each other, went for a pint, and then it was like no time had passed at all. So it's always been like that with Nath. Craig Taylor, cracking job so far, Trev. You seem to be really enjoying this whole experience. What's the coolest, most unexpected thing to come out of Summit or Nothing? Just the places I'm going, really, and the things I'm doing. I think last year going to Romania was just amazing. And that will come about from working with them chaps and me saying, let's go up to the Black and Beacons, do Penny Fan. Went up there, and then from that, Den, who came with us, Dionys, his brother, Vadim, was out in Romania and had been doing the mountains, and he was just said, you should all come. And we organised that just off the spur of the moment thing, and to actually then, within 2 months, we was up there, and on the top of those mountains in the snow and freezing conditions, it was just an amazing experience. Something that, I wouldn't, at the beginning of the year, I wouldn't have seen that happening. So it's just that, really, just not knowing each year what's going to happen. Obviously, this year's been a bit of a write-off. Have you got your mojo for the North-South walk? I'm getting it back. I've had a couple of weeks where I didn't really do any hiking, and this last sort of week, now I'm getting motivated for it. I'm going to get it done in the next 2 weeks. But yeah, it's something I can just go when the conditions are right. I've got everything ready to take. I can just sort of get up really early in the morning. I was thinking of setting my alarm for 4, getting up, have a shower, get on the moor for 5, just walking and walking and walking. So yeah, I'm getting there. Pinky promise next few weeks. I'm hoping. Map reading. How's your confidence come along using the compass, etc.? Really good feeling when you get it right. Yeah, I need to do more training. I did get a book. Someone recommended me a book. I thought it was nearby. It's not a navigation book, which I've been reading. It's really good. So there's a lot of things, methods and that in there that I want to get out and have a practice of at some point. Due to recent events, our West Highland charity is on hold till next year. What boots would you recommend for long distance, 15, 20 miles in a day? Well, I reckon get something light, like Solomon's. I think I wore my Solomon's last year for the Jurassic Coast Mighty Hike. Or did I wear my trainers? I can't remember now. But definitely when I've done coast walks, sort of like 20 miles on the coast in my bigger boots, like my Berghaus or the Mindals, I've had by the end of it, you really feel the weight of those boots. So yeah, I'd recommend something nice and light. What kind of nature do you typically encounter other than friendly cows? Do you see bats, birds of prey? See lots of birds of prey, especially on the coast, a lot of kestrels. I've never been woken by curious badgers or foxes. I've seen a fox up on the moor. Saw some deers last week. Frogs. See a lot of frogs. Snakes. I've seen a couple of snakes and a couple of lizards. I've never been able to capture a lizard on camera though. They move so quick. But yeah, I saw some snakes on the coast, and it was weird because I was just thinking, I've been walking for about 1.5 years now, and I've never seen a snake. And then within 10 minutes, I saw a snake, and within an hour, I saw another one. Adders as well. Is Great Miss Tour still your favourite tour? And always wondered who told you at the time you couldn't camp on Hound Tar after you and Nath went there. When you share your videos, people message you and they come and say, you can't do this. It's half the reason I don't use my drone up on Dartmoor either, because I'm not supposed to. And you feel, not that everyone's watching you, but I feel that we owe a bit of a responsibility to Dartmoor when we're doing our films to do everything right and make sure everyone else is, we're not influencing other people to sort of do everything wrong. And so that's why now I do stick to the camping map. Before, we didn't even know there was a camping map. And everyone would sort of comment or on a Facebook post, or I'd get messages in my inbox. I bought the drone with the intention of using it on Dartmoor. And I'd done a clip up on, we went to Haytor and, what's the one next to it? Saddle Tour. And I'd done a video over Saddle Tour, shared it to a Facebook group, and within minutes everyone was like, you can't use drones. And I was like, oh dear. It's a waste of a drone. Great Mist Tour or Great Links, I think are my two favourite tours, Andy. Beautiful up there. Does anything make you nervous or fearful when solo camping? I'm more nervous when I'm near a civilization, so if I'm close to a road, than if I'm out on, right in the middle of nowhere. I feel a lot more safe than by a road. So, but you get you can get the fear, especially when I first started, and every little noise you sort of sat listening. I could probably make an hour-long video of me just sat like that intense, listening in between takes. But you just got to try not to be nervous when you're up there, not think about what could be there, I suppose, isn't it? What's your thought on all this bad press about wild camping? Well, I don't think it's wild camping, to be honest, is it? That's getting the bad press. People are camping like they're camping at festivals and they're taking all their crap up. And it's not wild camping, is it? They're giving camping a bad name. But it's not wild camping, is it? It's terrible that they're doing it. And I think we're all putting out the messages on our video of leave no trace, but I don't think those people are watching our videos. I don't think they're looking up wild camping videos and things. I think they're just, let's go up to, we've got no festivals to go to this year. Let's just take the tents up on Dartmoor, take some crate of beers and a bloody table and deck chairs and leave it all up there. It's just weird, isn't it? Shame. Steve, I'd shit my pants if I saw a snake. I thought the same, but they actually move quicker. They want to get out of the way quicker than we did, or quicker than I did. Chicken of Evil, we saw kingfishers and buzzards last time we camped. It was absolutely awesome. I've always wanted to see a kingfisher. One of my favourite birds, just because they're so rare to see, I suppose. But yeah, I've not seen one yet. I do keeping my eye out. Buzzards, we see loads of buzzards about. Where I used to live in our village, it used to be like in the middle of like a load of farmland, and there's constantly buzzards there. And there's actually a buzzard that used to attack people at a park near us. Used to swoop down and attack people. Tried stealing a little dog once as well off the woman's lead, and she was pulling the dogs in the air with the buzzard. But yeah, they can be quite frightening. They used to attack people, went past on their bikes and just pecking their head, and nice. Drones on Dartmoor likely banned because it's military training area. I think it's people like people have been scaring cattle and things like that. But then you hear so many different things. Apparently someone was operating a drone from their car while they were driving and ran over a horse. Is another story I've heard. Whether it's true or not, but I don't like to rock the boat. Craig Taylor, what's your favourite UK national park except for Dartmoor? If the answer's Dartmoor. But so far, I mean, Snowdonia is amazing, but the Lake District is just beautiful. So I think the Lake District, I'd love to see much more of the Lake District. I'd love to see much more of Snowdonia as well, but there's just something completely lush about the Lake District for me there, Craig. Would you consider a return journey to the wonderful and notably worthwhile Cranmere Pool? No, Steve Woods. Possibly one day. I think there's a square sort of next to it that I've got to do in my Dartmoor 365, right in the middle of the moor. So maybe I'll pop back there another day. Back at the beginning of lockdown, when I was sort of getting out on the moor and it was that dry, I was thinking now is the time to walk to Cranmere Pool. You could just get there easily, no bog. You could skip there. Shaker Maker, sorry for joining late. What's your favourite cooking method now you have dabbled a bit? I do, yeah, I've enjoyed the transit cooking. I've really enjoyed that. Now I've got the new stove, the OEX stove, which I find I can adjust the heat fairly well on that. I might try some cooking in that as well, and seeing what costs more in gas and fuel. I've got some testing to do there, but I'm actually really happy with these new OEX pots, and I know everyone sort of goes for the smaller pot, and to me that was just great because I can boil in my bag. Last week I took out one of my old meals and just proper cooked it in that pot. I can store more stuff in there. I can fit 2 gas cans in there, so I'm going to buy another cooker, and I can have 2 stoves going at once, sort of open up my options. That's what I've been thinking. Is the Jetboil actually worth the money? Yeah, there's probably cheaper versions of the Jetboil you can get, but I'm beginning to think, I know mine is an older version, but it's just awkward to use, and it's either everything, or when you turn it down to just, you want to simmer, it just goes out, and then you end up having to light it again, and I find it really awkward. And I've always found as well that I want to turn it the opposite way to how it works for some reason. I always go to turn it up and turn it down. But yeah, I'll probably use my Jetboil less and less these days, to be fair. There are cheaper versions, and that OEX set, 30, 40 quid. It's a bigger pot, but the stove is absolutely brilliant. Have you got a secret crew that goes back to pick up the camera, etc.? Keeps you hydrated and fed smiles. Only in my head. Have you ever walked IOW? What's the IOW? Isle of Wight. Have I walked? No, I do want to walk. Sorry. I do want to walk the Isle of Wight. I'll get the Southwest Coast Path done, and then I was going to do the Isle of Wight, possibly with my brother Rob, who done the Jurassic Coast Mighty Hike with me last week. Been there on a family holiday before. Loads of red squirrels, I remember. Do you have any favourite similar themed YouTubers, and why? Any collaborations on the horizon? Yeah, there's plenty of sort of. I try and watch people every now and again. Andy Valden, or Andy here, is a good up and coming YouTuber. Ash Outdoors, I'd like to meet up with him. Life on the Rocks, Dean has come out to a couple of my charity walks now, so I'd like to go and do a camp with him. Yeah, more with Alan Metalman up in the Lake District, and Joss. There's plenty of people that I do enjoy watching their videos. But amazing scenery, Isle of Skye is unbelievable. Harry Pollard. Yeah, I'm sure there's loads of nice places. I've got like hundreds of editions of Country Walking magazine with all the walks in the back, and I sort of keep looking through them for inspiration and ideas of different places to go. Yeah, and it's just waiting now to sort of get back out and see all these different places. Paul Messner always cracks me up, whatever he's doing, whenever he's camping, he's always has a brew and promotes LNT. What's LNT? I'm not very good at abbreviations. You have to tell me what LNT is. But yeah, Paul Messner is a nice chap as well. I've messaged him a couple of times. We've spoken about different things. We was going to be going to a group camp. There was a load of us all going. Leave no trace, yeah, of course it is. There was a load of us was going to go on a camp for the Great Outdoors TV. I organised a camp, and that didn't happen in the end. But I was looking forward to meeting up with Paul. Could have a good chat with him. Do you now use cooking chocolate all the time for your flapjacks? Yeah, well, I don't use Galaxy anymore. No, definitely not. Scotland is just so far away, and I live in Manchester. Plus, you drive through the lakes to get there. It's the trouble. Everything's so far away from us. I've always said I might start a petition to try and get a mountain brought down here. They could stick it right over Cranmere Pool. I think we wouldn't miss it. There are a lot of videos on the lantern. Are they solid in bad weather? And can you use any trekking poles? I think you can use any trekking poles, Steve. Whether they're solid in bad weather, they seem to be. A lot of people swear by them. Luckily, I haven't tried mine in bad weather because I'm always doubt how I've put mine up. And I'd imagine mine wouldn't survive the bad weather. But can we get Dartmoor Tales compilation edit for Halloween? I've done one before, actually. There is a compilation that I've done a couple Halloweens ago. Right, the WHW, West Highway? What? Go on, tell me. West Highlands Way. Is that what it is? Talk to me. Don't do abbreviations. You're making me look like an idiot. I know words, so don't do letters. Shaker Maker, how can we guarantee Nath a good night's kip on a wild camp? Has he got a new tent yet? I don't think tarps work for him. No, it's a funny one with Nath. It's like I'm trying to make it a really nice experience when he comes out. I don't want him to leave again. I don't want to push it. I don't want him to feel that pressured. That I think that's what he felt last time. He was like, oh God, I've got to do this again. So I just want him to do whatever, whenever. But yeah, I think the best way he can get a good night's sleep is get him some earplugs and get him a tent. So I was probably going to lend him the lantern next time we go. How many nearly out of date meals have I got left? I'll show you. Bear with me. It's practically bloody full. Yeah, I must say my heart sank when he gave me them. And I thought, oh, this was good. And he's like, look at the sell-by date. And I'm like, oh, for Christ's sake. So, yeah, I won't be doing that again. So, yeah, if anyone wants any, I'll do 10 for a fiver. No, 5 for a tenner. Sorry, that's right. I've sold some. Someone did pick some up the other night, actually. So there you go. Don't worry about the dates on those. I bet they are best before and we'll be fine. I'm sure they will, Barry. So I'll be eating them for ages. I checked, and some YouTubers with massive subscription numbers have less Patreons than you, so well done. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, it was humbling really to see when you all signed up, and hopefully I can, you all feel that you're getting enough out of it. Is the main thing. I don't like to think that I'm getting money for nothing. Craig Taylor, what's the latest with the Himalayas trip? I did cover this quickly earlier. We got an email today. It's being postponed now till a spring next year or October. They put a survey around, and some people said spring and some people said October. So they're going to do two. Oh, sorry. split it into two. So I think I'm going to go for October just to give everything more chance to sort out. And also then if we did the spring and then it got cancelled, we'd lose sort of the deposit and that. Whereas if it's more chance for it to happen. So it'd be another year and a half before I go by the sounds of it. But I think maybe it'd be safer. Who knows at this time? But yeah, I've got to email them back by 12 o'clock tomorrow to say when I'm going to do it. What's your favourite camp food? I'm getting fed up with curry. Yeah, those little pizzas that Tom showed me, they're brilliant. They're really easy and they're really tasty. I like a chili, and I love a beef stew. And those little foil pouches that I do, you can cook up a beef stew and just fill them up. And you warm them through when you get out, and they are delicious. So yeah, just get some of them foil pouches, do some home cooked meals, and have decent food out on the trail. Gourmet, as Stan told me. You're welcome, Trev. We appreciate everything you do. Love your channel. You put a lot of effort in. Just don't burn out. Yeah, that's the fear. It's burning out. That's how I felt a bit last year, John. I got to the end of the year and felt almost like I'd blown my top. So I think this is also, the Patreon is also a bit of a cushion. So if I do get to a point, because you build it up with YouTube and you see your analytics and your statistics climbing and your revenue, but if you stop, it just drops. So that's another thing with this, is a cushion. So I can have a break if I want to take a couple of weeks off and not have a video up every week. I can just chill and sort of take a breather, knowing that it's still keeping it going. What did it feel like getting the barnet chopped? Liberating. Even though she did take a little bit too much off, I thought. But to be honest, it's when you first have your hair cut, it never looks right, does it? But now I've sort of washed it a couple of times and it's looking a bit better. And thoughts on hammocks. I absolutely loved the hammock when I went out at the beginning of the year. It's not something I'd carry to do hiking and hammock camping, I don't think, because there was a lot of extra gear I found I was taking. But as far as comfortable night's sleep go, that was, as soon as I got in there, it was like, this is how you're supposed to sleep in the wild. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, hopefully I'll get a different hammock at some point. Do you feel the hiking, wild camping helps you with your mental health? Definitely, especially the hiking. When I've done a longer walk, if I've done a real long walk, for days after, I feel the benefits of it. I might have like achy legs getting up the stairs, but yeah, I feel like I cleared everything out. What's your bag weight nowadays? Shh, don't talk about that. You saw the bag I had last week, and then I ended up going out on the coast this week carrying 15 kilograms. After I'd done that video where I had I've got all my stuff in a 9 kilogram bag. And that's not happened now. I don't know what's happened. I think I panicked. And I think it is food and water is what's taking the weight up. But yeah, I carried 15 kilograms across the coast with me the other day, and that was a slog. For me, it's not just the wild camp and walk. The feeling you get when you get back, get to show the wife all the pictures and tell the stories, keeps me on a high for days. Yeah, I think my wife doesn't like to hear about it, but editing the videos for you guys as well, like I say, it's reliving that experience. And yes, it is the weight of a small child, Paul, you're right. But definitely it does, for days after, when I'm editing, like today I've been editing the coast walk, and you forget what you've seen, especially if it's like a week after you've done it, and then you're editing and you're like, oh wow, that is beautiful. So it's definitely similar to you showing your wife the pictures. Me editing the videos is reliving it. Looking forward to my Summit on Nothing mug. They look like this. I'm looking forward to you having your Summit on Nothing mugs. And yeah. So I hope you don't mind, people. I'm going to wrap this up because my wife's out tonight and the kids was watching a film, and I think they're all at that time they need to get put to bed. It's kept them out of the way, but now they're sort of emerging from the shadows. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this. Once I got into it, I enjoyed it myself. I always feel a bit awkward and a bit nervous on the live chat, but yeah, we'll do this again this time next month. I know it works now, so that's great. So I'll pin I'll give you a date coming across, but yeah, next week for the top tier patrons, keep an eye out for the exclusive video that I'll bang together for you. And yeah, everyone, thank you ever so much for all your support and for watching this. It's been fantastic. All right, take care. Good night. Arrivederci and peace. Cheers.